A woman woke to find wood ear mushrooms growing from her leg. Despite the agony of tearing them out, this torture became her daily nightmare. Mushrooms sprouted from her arms by day, while fungi emerged from her ears at night. Vines even attempted to force their way into her mouth. The cause lay within this ancient forest, where primordial spores drift through the air. Once inhaled, they trigger rapid mutations throughout the body. Nearby stood a tree containing a horrifying sight, a living person embedded within. A closer look revealed his wedding ring still visible among the branches. This was the fate of those who breathed the spores. Fungi colonized human bodies, transforming victims into fungal monsters. One day, 2 forest rangers arrived unexpectedly. As Gabby scouted ahead with her drone, she glimpsed a figure flash across the screen before the device crashed. When she went to retrieve it, Winston told her to meet at the next survey point in an hour. Meanwhile, 2 indigenous locals had already taken the drone. They set traps along their return path, then donned masks and released spores from a mushroom. The spores, as if possessing consciousness, attached themselves to surrounding fungi. Once the spores had dispersed, they collected edible mushrooms in buckets and departed. When Gabby arrived, a trap pierced through her foot. She called desperately for Winston, but he was repairing equipment and had forgotten his radio. Spotting a shadowy figure, the panicked Gabby yanked the spike from her foot. Her agonized screams finally alerted Winston, who fumbled for his radio but accidentally knocked it into water, cutting off all communication. Suddenly, day transformed into night around Gabby. A blood-red door materialized from nowhere, releasing drifting spores. Following a distant light, she discovered a cabin and collapsed after confirming it was safe. In her unconscious state, violent coughing seized her. She actually coughed up a seed. Gabby jolted awake instantly. The 2 indigenous men burst in, the trapsetters themselves. Surprisingly, they meant no harm and carefully tended her wounds. Barrand, it turned out, was a botanist whose wife had died here during a mission. He had chosen to remain in the forest with his son. Meanwhile, Winston had tumbled into a swamp. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, he scrambled frantically to shore. Eerie sounds echoed around him as he cowered behind a tree. The creature stalked closer. Turning, he faced a humanoid monstrosity covered in fungi, spores bursting from its mouth as it roared. Winston desperately sought cover behind a larger tree, unaware that tendrils had already crept up behind him. And so, Winston became sustenance for the monster.